When,
So may I come?
please,
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sirs. So may I
please
sit?
have a seat.
Thank you.
So, Mr. G. Harishankar,
Yes.
and you are a commerce graduate,
Yes.
and you also have secured All India Rank 1, CBSE Class 12,
So,
and you are already in a service.
yes.
Okay. So, could you introduce more about yourself? Say something more.
So, my roots belong to Tamil Nadu, sir, and I've been born and brought up in Delhi. Sir, I've done my schooling from Air Force Bal Bharti School, since my father is an ex-sergeant in the Indian Air Force. And, sir, apart from the college, doing the BCom and graduation, I have post that done 2 years as a consultant with McKinsey and Company, and then worked for 2 years at a private equity firm called Warburg Pincus. Post that, sir, I had the opportunity of serving at Danix, where I was a probationer for 1 year. So currently, I'm undergoing training in IDAS, Indian Defence Account Service, and sir, in my free time, I like to draw caricatures, and I have a passion for theatre.
Okay. So, Mr. Harishankar, you have an initial, very illustrious career in the private sector, that too in the equity firm and also in McKinsey, which is one of the best consulting firms. So, and private sector has a increasingly broader role also in the public services. So, why at all you want to join civil service, which is a very different category? It's a natural question.
So, I always had an ambition of becoming a civil servant. We can call it the seed was sown by my parents being in government service, and me seeing the kind of impact and the non-profit orientation that they could bring to the table and affect the people. So that was the seed. But I had to take some financial uh, financial choices when I came out of college. Uh, I also wanted to support my wife who wanted to study abroad. So I wanted to take that responsibility. And at that point, it seemed prudent for me to work for a few years in corporate sector. That thankfully has honed my skills, and I hope to bring that to table in government service.
So, what specific attribute which you have learned or acquired in your private sector job would be very useful, and I would say most useful in public service as a civil servant?
Sir, being a consultant, I acquired a couple of skills which I feel would be very relevant for me in this service. So the first one is, sir, communication. Since administration is a job of dealing with people, not only communicating to them but also understanding from them. I feel that that is a trait that I have honed as a consultant. So secondly, sir, problem solving is something that I have acquired through the frameworks, and being able to dissect a problem to find out the different parts of it. It's something that I would find useful as an administrator. But I look forward to learning the nitty gritties of administration as this service will bestow me, and hone that further.
Okay. So, you are aspiring to be a civil servant for quite long. Yeah. So, that's your ultimate aim, I would say. And you must have dreamed that once I get a field posting, I will do this and that. Okay. And you have been brought up in Delhi only. So, what is the first thing you will do if you are, for example, posted here as one of the SDMs in Delhi, New Delhi, for example? Ansari Nagar is in New Delhi, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
Sir, if I were to be given that position, sir, while my primary focus would be the interest of the people and their needs there.
Just name one thing on which you will concentrate,
Yes, sir. Sir, as an SDM in Delhi,
and you will be able to deliver with your skills.
yes, sir, as an SDM in Delhi, since I have been as part of the DANIC service, I have been exposed to the role. So one area where I feel I can bring some change is, sir, the field of disaster management. Sir, I feel that Delhi being a zone 4 earthquake prone region, I would want to improve the disaster preparedness. So still there are regions in Delhi.
In what way?
Yes, sir. So firstly, with relation to the construction and the illegal constructions which have spurned up in certain parts of
How will you do that?
Sir, firstly, I will use a multi-pronged approach. The first approach is to serve a notice to those who have done those illegal constructions and obstructions of way, because evacuation gets affected in that sense. And secondly, in case that is not followed, I will take stricter measures to ensure that those are
Will the
clear.
political class allow you to do that?
Sir, I might face some resistance. I do believe that the political class will also help me in this particular instance, since that has been the push and this has
Why
been
would
carried
they
out.
help? There has been no history of politician helping administration on that account.
Sir, I feel that so there have been a few instances which I saw where the special task force has been allowed by the government of the day to carry out such measures. However, sir, there is a slight difference in terms of the speed at which the government wants the bureaucracy to function with adequate notice and the practicalities of it. So I would want to give adequate notice and yet be firm and assertive in getting the job done.
Okay.
Vanakkam, Harishankar.
Vanakkam, sir.
Today is, you are aware of, we are having a festivity today.
Yes, sir.
What is that festivity?
Sir, in multiple regions, it's different. Sir, Makar Sankranti is the
Makar
the
Sankranti is
harvest
tomorrow.
also.
And that's tomorrow.
Right.
It's always on 14th of Jan. Today is 13th of Jan. So in Punjab, there's a lot of festivity.
Yes, sir.
Now, could you just give me why is this being celebrated? It's a very basic question. But then the second question will follow from your answer.
Sir, it is a harvest festival since this is the season when broadly the crops are harvested.
But then there is a tradition, that they make, they rejoice and there's a bonfire and that they burn the crops and they put in a lot of things, sugar cane and other things. Now, what is the religious sanctity behind or a belief of offering all this to the fire?
Sir, while I'm not exactly aware factually of what the cultural significance would
No worries, no worries. Now, you are an IDAS. How long you been there in in defense accounts?
Sir, 2.5 months.
2.5 months. So not much of information on that. But still one question will come. Now, essentially this is accounts basically of defense, Now, defense accounts are centralized at a particular station. And where you have a consolidation of accounts, and then the final accounts are prepared in terms of the revenue which has come in and then the expenditure.
Yes.
Now, what are the fundamental principles on which the defense accounts works in?
Sir, the Defense Accounts Department overall works on 4 functions. So the first function is payment, post which there is an accounting of that. There is an internal audit function to ensure that the kosheress is there, which then flows to the statutory audit, which is done by the audit service. And so finally, there is a financial advisory function, which is a cornerstone, which is fast emerging as a cornerstone.
Okay, so you talked about audit. Now, what standard are they following? Are they following GAAR? Are you aware of what GAAR is?
Sir, I'm sorry, I have not been exposed to that.
You are a student of commerce and accounts.
Yes.
General accepted audit
Yes, sir.
Standards.
Yes, sir.
GAS, sorry, not GAS, not GAR.
Yes.
General accepted accounting standards.
Yes, sir.
So you're not aware of anything?
Yes, sir, I am aware of it.
Yes. Would you just give me quickly as to what you know about GAS?
So, general accounting, general acceptable accounting standards is given by ICAI, and sir, that brings out a few standards such as.
You sure it's ICAI? GAS coming from ICAI?
Sir, I might.
Okay,
be
come
wrong.
on, come on. What essentially what is the GAR standards, the parameters on which you look in audits?
So there has to be sir, it gives the parameters on which audit evidence needs to be needs to be collected, and what are the formats in which if audit observations, if any, have to be presented.
If a cash trail has to be drawn by an audit team, how would they do it?
Sir, if a cash trail has to be drawn, sir, one would look at the transactions voucher first, and on the basis of that would track it back, align it with the cash book, and on the basis of that would find out whether it has been adequately recorded in the books, and then also tally it with the bank statement if that amount has been paid through the bank account.
Okay. Do you understand the concept called corporate whale?
So corporate whale?
Yes.
Sir, I have heard about it, but I'm not remembering it at this moment.
Okay. Because there have been, shadow companies coming one after another, wherein the money is being siphoned
Yes.
or being rerouted through number of routes. That's where it's connected to the cash trade, The problem comes in, which you said it very simply, but then the problem comes in that you have a lot of transaction changing hands in multiple entities.
Right.
So it becomes so difficult to go in for a cash trail to really identify the source.
Yes.
Okay. Now, have you heard of this Unlawful Activities Prevention Act?
Yes, sir.
Now, this act is an old act. It has undergone amendments. Recent amendment in 2019. Now, what is the second amendment which has taken place?
So the second amendment, as in the 2019, the amendments that have been taken place.
Yes.
You want me to? Yes. Sir, the UAPA, the amendments which had taken place allow a wider scope for definition of terrorists. Firstly, so earlier, if
You use the word intervene. How do you differentiate between a terrorist and a militant?
Sir, so a terrorist is one who harms civilian without a purpose of. So, for instance, I could say, and a militant is one who does it for a larger cause without intention of harming civilians.
Is that
For an
what
ideological
militants are doing?
Sorry, sir.
Is that what militants are doing? Not harming someone?
Sir, the intention is not to harm the civilians, if I believe.
Well, I tend to disagree. But nonetheless, last question coming in. Who enforces this Unlawful Activities Prevention Act? Which agency enforces this act?
So the NIA has an important role in the enforcement of the UAPA.
All right, thank you. I pass on to the next member. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We call you Harish. Is that okay? Harish Kumar.
So Hari or Harishankar would be.
Harishankar. Okay. You are from Tanjavur. I mean, your father is from Tanjavur.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about Tanjavur from the historical point of view.
Sir, Tanjavur has been a very important city right from the period of the Cholas, and it is an amalgamation of the cultural aspects of many regions. For instance, sir, it saw the basis of the Maratha kingdom as well.
What was the capital of Chola Empire?
Sir, the capital of Chola Empire was Kaviripattinam.
And not Tanjavur?
Sir, it was not the administrative capital of Tanjavur.
Why is Chola Empire so famous with respect to Southeast Asia?
Sir, the Chola Empire in the 9th to the 11th century, 10th to the 11th century, saw an expansion, eastward expansion, and what was that time called Jaya. That was an area where the Chola Empire did set up its kingdom, and it was one of the first kingdoms, first Indian kingdoms which could expand outwards beyond the seas. So it was also important factor of India's existing naval power at that time.
Wasn't it known by a specific term, the Chola Empire, as far as the navy is concerned?
Sir, I'm not able to.
Empire with 1,000 naval ships.
Okay,
At that time, it was a big thing.
thank you, sir.
What is the difference between walking and running when it comes to international competitions?
Sir, in terms of international competitions, so walking necessarily has to have 1 foot planted on the ground.
Yeah.
Whereas
Okay,
running,
fine. Israel says that it has not started the war. Do you agree?
Yes, sir. I feel that the war was not started suo motu. It was started as a response to the terrorist attack, which was
So-
initiated by us.
Terrorist attack was the cause. Can you say that the war was not started by Israel? I would say that Israel started the war, full-fledged war. Would you
Sir,
agree?
Sir, in terms, sir, I would disagree to the extent that I would agree to the extent that it was an escalation and escalation
No.
of the war.
Terrorist act, can you term it as war? Question is this.
Sir, nowadays I feel that war has many fronts, and right now the terrorist act and is almost a proxy of a war which was
All right.
initiated by
Why
Hamas.
are Houthis helping Hamas or sympathizing with Hamas?
Sir, Houthis have traditionally been aligned with the Palestinian cause, and a common thread runs through the backing by Iran, which is also said to be one. So Houthis can also be seen as a proxy front for the support by Iran to the Palestinian cause.
You see, and what is the reason that Iran is behind the Houthis?
Sir, the primary reason in terms of geopolitics could be to counter Saudi Arabia, which is
Okay,
another.
but there is another reason, more fundamental.
Sir, it could also be seen from the Shia-Sunni
Shia-Sunni.
split.
So Houthis are Shia, as Iranians are.
Yes.
But Palestinians are not Shia.
Yes, sir.
So how does it work?
So Palestinians are not Shia, but because of the Israel axis, which the opposition of Iran to Israel, which is another countering large power, this divide has been overseen.
All right. You do caricature.
Yes.
What is the meaning of caricature? Where has it started from?
So the origin of the origin of caricature is it is a Latin word called caricare, which
Italian word.
Italian word. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Which means to exaggerate. Sir, it's while the form has existed for a long period of time, the first documented version of it has been by Annabel Karachi.
Right. Correct. What are the 4 different modes of caricature?
Sir, may I clarify? In terms of mode, it would be
Or types, you can say types or modes of caricature.
Sir, as far as I understand, the types can be graded in form of the distortion or the medium. Sir, in terms of medium, one could include a digital caricature versus a.
I would start by saying it can be either a portrait, which is called also definition. The second could be satire. And if you can go on with 2 more.
Sir,
Comedy and grotesque.
okay. Right.
Have you heard of these terms?
Yes, sir.
If you have heard, tell me what is the difference between a satire caricature and comedy caricature?
Sir, satire on something is, according to me, a more intelligent use of wit to represent something. whereas a comedy would be a more crude form.
You're close. Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Harishankar, you aspire to become a bureaucrat.
Yes.
Tell me who gave the word bureaucracy? Origin of the word bureaucracy. Any idea?
Sir, the theory of bureaucracy was propounded by Max
Bureaucracy
Weber.
as a word, first time, who gave it to the word and when did we hear it? Forget that, but who gave it?
Sir, as far as I know, it was given by Max Weber.
And what was the intent at that time? Bureaucracy was understood to be or meant to be what?
So bureaucracy was meant to be an efficient system which was based on hierarchy for administration
Right.
purpose.
Let me come to your McKinsey and say, you see, organization like yours, consultancy organization, McKinsey and Pricewaterhouse and many others, they tend to forget the basic principle of genius and simplicity, and they create such huge kind of complex reports to make money. That is the allegation which most of the people have. I too feel the same. What is your view about it?
Sir, I would disagree to it to an extent that I feel that there actually needs to be an increased sophistication and increased complexity in this increased complex world. And I feel that consultants have to move towards more data analysis to get more nuanced views for solving problems rather than applying.
But all big problems don't have to have big solutions.
Yes.
I mean, big problems can have very simple solutions, which are obvious and which get ignored or neglected
Yes.
because of organizations like yours.
Yes.
Is that right or no?
Sir, from what I have seen and from my experience, it has not been there, and the basics have been addressed.
Let's come to another thing. Have you heard of Edward de Bono? Edward de Bono?
No, sir, I have.
You not heard of him? When you talk about problem solving, you were talking about.
So,
He has done so much work on problem solving and creativity,
right.
which is a part of problem solving. Creativity is a part of problem solving or no?
Sir, it is a part of problem solving to think out, be able to think out of the
All
box.
right. Defense account, since I'm from the defense, let me ask you something. There is a software called Sparsh,
Yes.
which has created havoc with the account system, and everyone is very unhappy with it. What is the problem with Sparsh? What does Sparsh stand for?
Sir, I'm not able to recall the full version of it, but sir, in terms of the problems, sir, there are a few teething problems which have come up, especially in the onboarding. So the first major issue is that there was no onboarding of the pensioners, them being around 32 lakh pensioners, to this new system, and because the pensioners would also be of an advanced age, to expect them to be digital friendly without onboarding was a very significant step, not given enough time. So the second issue that I have gotten is regarding grievance redressal, that the grievance redressal is not very fast, and the pensioners would not know immediately.
And the website also doesn't work most of the time. It is not accessible.
So there have
I
been
have experienced it. I know that it is not accessible whenever you need it. Anyway, now tell me, what is the genesis of the problem between China and Taiwan? Why does China say that it is our mainland and it wants the mainland to be connected? And Taiwan says no, and America, of course, supports Taiwan. What is the issue? Genesis of the problem, original problem. You know what I'm
Yes.
talking about. Okay.
Sir, originally before Mao Zedong came to fore and took over the reins of China, there was a democratic government within China, which was toppled by Mao Zedong, and the government then shifted to the.
When was that? Which year?
Sir, I'm not able to recall the exact year. It was mid 1940s when this took place.
Right.
Sir, and then Taiwan, this government shifted to Taiwan and started operating there. Sir, US has had, as you had mentioned, so US has had a policy of strategic ambiguity.
What is the interest of US?
Sir,
Taiwan?
So, firstly, there is a strategic and geopolitical interest since it is very close to China, which is the second large pole.
And
Sir, apart from that, one could look at it from the economic point of view as well, since it is semiconductor.
okay, thank you, Harishankar.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Harishankar.
Morning, sir.
This word, if we bifurcate this word, Hari and Shankar,
Yes.
what's the importance and meaning of this word, Har? Like we see Hare Ram, Hana Har Har Bole, Har Har Mahadev. Why Hara?
Sir, I'm not aware of that particular etymology, but I will definitely read up more about it.
Okay. Your family and you specifically have roots in southern part of India, and you were born and brought up here in Delhi.
Yes.
What kind of general observation and cultural shocks you see in your house and in your day-to-day life?
Sir, in terms of the
General observations.
Yes.
If we southern part of India and the northern part of India, that is my question.
Sir, in my interactions, firstly, I've seen that the regions that I have been to in southern part have a more conservative approach as compared to to Delhi specifically, where I see that there is more risk taking and more assertiveness. Secondly, sir, in terms of the society, I've seen that the safety of women is higher in the state of Tamil Nadu, especially in the regions that I have been to, as compared to Delhi.
Okay, what's the social structure of southern part of India and the northern part of India?
Sir, in terms of social structure, you want me to focus on the socio-economic
Yes.
aspect. Sir, there has been a higher rise of the middle class in the southern states that can be attributed to the proliferation of education, whereas in the northern states, the rise of the middle class, the rise of the middle castes has been more prominent due to the Green Revolution. The middle class is still developing.
Very interesting. You come from BCom, that too from Shri Ram College of Commerce. Tell me about balance of trades and balance of payment and its impact on economy.
So balance of trade is a concept for seeing whether a country exports more than imports in terms of goods, whereas a balance of payment is the larger picture of the foreign exchange transactions in terms of the entire thing, with including the revenue and the capital account. Sir, on an economy, it has multi-pronged impacts. Firstly, overall capital account deficit would lead to higher a depreciation of a country's foreign exchange. Secondly, it can also lead to inflation since the imports would be higher. And overall, it would also lead to increase in interest rates, sir, since the economies would not be seen as one which is strong enough to sustain itself.
Harishankar, are you on social media?
So very limited presence. If one could call WhatsApp social media, I am present.
What's the social media bug which new age bureaucrats are being affected by? And what's the solution for that? Are you aware of the term social media bug?
Sir, the social media bug or the affinity towards social media for new bureaucrats has been on two fronts. One is the use of social media for presenting oneself to the public and having that interaction, including posting photos on Instagram while on being on duty. Secondly, is the use of social media for official purposes, such as using WhatsApp for conducting official business.
Do you think it's fair for a bureaucrat to be on social media and sharing their day to day work? As we see, a lot of bureaucrats are in the news for that. They have video of every small thing they do.
Sir, I feel that to the extent that it is helping their work and interacting with the public, it is good. But one has to draw a line. For instance, sir, there was a case where a person posted on election duty used the machinery of the Election Commission of India for posting it on social media, which does not serve the purpose of the election. In that case, sir, I do not think it is valid.
Okay. Lastly, Harishankar, can you tell me any recent political cartoons which were on news?
Yes, sir. Sir, in terms of, sir, I saw a cartoon which was in relation to the Israel-Gaza war, which I had recently seen, and it was with relation to Biden, who was shuttling between the different countries and making different statements to each country. So that was one political cartoon that I saw.
Okay. Thank you, Harishankar.
So I believe this is your third interview, no?
Yes.
To the civil service board. So how many marks you secured in your last two interviews?
Sir, I scored 167 marks in my first interview and 170 marks in my second interview.
Okay, so you deserve more. You deserve more. Okay. So now let me come to some other things. First, tell me, how do you feel how your interview today has gone?
Sir, on the positives, I felt that I was calm and I could say even the things that I did not know with confidence that I do not know them. On the negative side, there were a lot of questions which I did not know, which were expected of me, especially in relation to my subject matter. So I want to improve.
Okay. So let me come one by one to all the attributes which would improve in our understanding a little bit. I'll start, and then if there is anything left, I will request our panel members to supplement that. Okay?
Yes.
So,
So may I take a note of it? Can I bring my note?
They will give you a video
Right.
clip. They will give you a video clip.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
so you have a very pleasing personality. Yeah? But as a civil servant, we will like you to be smarter.
Yes,
Okay.
certainly.
So we may start with the fact that when you came in, okay, you greeted everybody, sir, sir, sir. Maybe instead of that, you could greet the chairperson and then two rest of the panel members in just single stroke.
Right.
Okay. And if there is a lady member, you can greet her first.
Yes.
So that should be the norm. So that's one. And then when you came in, you asked for a seat. I deliberately stopped for a moment without offering you a seat. And I was wanting to judge your reaction. The civil servant has to be patient. Okay. So be at ease, be there, be comfortable, be confident, and ask to be seated. So that should be one of the best traits. No?
Yes.
Then about your dress. Are you going to wear the same kind of a clothing?
No, sir. I would have a tie and a black suit.
Black suit. Maybe black or navy blue would do.
Yes.
And the shoes should be matching. Your hair should be kept.
Yes.
Okay. You should be properly shaven.
Yes.
Okay? You wear a good smile. You have been talking with smile. But then one thing I noticed that you have been not looking at other panel members while replying to the question. You are concentrated on the person to whom you are answering. Okay. So what is there? That the whole panel is looking at you, and the whole panel is asking you a question. So you need to engage with the rest of the panel once in a while you are answering long questions. Okay.
Yes.
So that's a good trait. If you do that, you will be able to engage the whole, and they will. You may try to seek some kind of a confirmation through non-verbal communication with the other panel members are giving to you. Okay. So because you have worked in so many different areas and fields and with organizations, then we found that your answers are quite long.
Okay.
Okay. You should come to the point quickly. and your answer must be crisp and short, but to the point.
Right.
What's the best way to do that?
So think before you speak and take a moment.
You frame the answer. Take a
Yes.
moment. Okay. But more importantly, this also demonstrates that you know things, no, but you are not able to put your best foot forward in the very first instance. Okay. And the best way to do that is you should prepare, just jot down 80, 90 topics
Right.
and think over that and make bullet notes
Right.
over that. Okay. That way, you will be able to prioritize your replies. You see, almost 70 to 80% of the questions will be from your DAF. Everybody here asks questions from your DAF, except a few questions. Okay.
Yes.
And that trend generally continues. It's not 100% sure, but generally that trend continues. So in that respect, you'll be well prepared what to answer, how to answer. Yes, okay? Panel doesn't have that much of time. And also when you are giving long answers, you will have a kind of a weakness to be trapped.
Right.
Unknowingly, you will be uttering a word over which it could generate controversy. Okay?
Right.
And then I also thought that on some of the issues, like when one of our respected panel members asked you about the Houthi thing,
Yes.
okay, we're not very forthcoming in the very beginning. Okay. So if you have read that carefully,
Yes, sir.
you would have understood. Okay. I would say that if they are Shias,
Right.
but they are rebels. And they are rebels against whom? They are rebels against Shias.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So they are not rebels against Sunnis, they are rebels against Shias. So the Shia thing for aligning themselves with Palestine is not an answer.
Right, sir.
Not an answer in mind. Okay? Palestine is a general cause for the Arab world.
Right.
And because they are rebels, they are a minority there. They want to gain sympathy, for example.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's why they have a line there. Okay. If there is any other thing to be.
Well, I've just one small observation. Sajay has already summed up beautifully about you, your personality traits. Look at your posture. What is this?
This is
What
I
is
also
this?
want to
Yeah.
All throughout in the review, I was observing you. Your body and posture was this.
Right.
This is like you're folding and asking for votes. So therefore, be natural. I think this would be better. Okay. Yes, this would be better with some bit of articulation here, but not too many. But that's all one small observation. Otherwise, you deserve real good score, better than last time.
Okay,
So last
I
time,
I'll take it
want to add something.
Yes.
You are a very good candidate. However, to make your voice little more interesting, some modulation of the voice.
Okay,
So now it is flat. Some modulation and pauses at the right place make it more interesting. Otherwise,
Understood.
you are a very good candidate, and I think you have the potential.
Okay.
Thank you.
All the best to you.
All the best.
Do you have any
All
questions?
the best.
Do you
No,
have
sir.
any questions?
Sir, I will read up more about the content, and I feel that.
Yeah.
Thank you. All the best. God bless
What
you.
about that personality? It's
Yes,
not
God bless you.
the test of knowledge.
Right.
Mind you, you have already been tested, prelims and then mains. This test of your personality, how do you react? Okay.
Right.
All right. Thank you.
So one small question I had, sir, in terms of being pointed to the answer, one of the feedback that I have received is that you should try to steer the interview by adding a few things which are not maybe directly and core related, but add-ons, so that one may
That's
invent
one
more
way.
questions.
You could leave breadcrumbs. Okay, but these breadcrumbs cannot become the whole bread.
Right.
Okay.
Start from the most basic point, most
Most pertinent
most
point has to be
pertinent
first.
point.
First.
And
Now-
then you may leave some breadcrumbs.
Correct.
Understood.
All right?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you.
All the best.
Because